So, tell us about yourself, man.
Man, country boy, raised in Bryan, Texas,
Okay.
by College Station, with the Aggies. Grew up on the same land that my great grandfather sharecropped as a kid. So came from the humble beginnings. Grew up in a single wide trailer home on a dirt road on a dead end.
Okay.
They say I had very few outlets. My dream and my goal was to always get out of my situation, try to better where I come from, and then when I got there, I wanted to come back and get my people and show them how I got there. So my story, man, I believe it's an American success story. 100% hustle, motivated. I rely on the gifts God gave me. He made me a hard worker. He made me a people's person. And he just made me authentic and genuine enough to where I can attract good people like you, and they believe in me and believe in my hustle, man. And that's pretty much how I've gotten to where I've been, man. Just treating people the right way, working hard, not accepting any handouts, just going out there and getting it for myself, man. And then, like I said, teaching one to do that same thing, man. So
Okay. What would you say is? I just like to dive right into it.
yeah.
What would you say has been the toughest part? Like, what was the biggest challenge for you? Because it's obvious that you've overcome a lot, right? It's obvious that you've been through a lot of things that I think would give good reason for you to have not made it, or for you to have not succeeded or not be thriving.
Right.
But you are thriving. So what things have truly been challenges for you along the way, though?
I mean, your own self. I mean, myself is the biggest challenge. The things that you don't know, the things you can't see is always the things that's the hardest to try to shoot for, So the fact that I did come from those humble beginnings, it's always self-doubt. Am I good enough? Am I smart enough? Do they want me? Do they like me? Do they accept me? Do they like the way I talk? So you always, to me personally, I'm always my biggest critic. So, whatever I do, I've got to get myself out the way and just really dive into believing in my own personal, because I believe in the Lord. I believe that He don't put you in any situation that you can't handle. So the fact that He puts me in these different situations, these different places, I have enough confidence in myself that my Lord didn't just put me here for no reason.
Excellent, man. I like that. Hey, I'm sure they felt that. So you got some books here, man.
Yeah, man. I represent a group called the Real Kings of Poetry. We are published authors, black young men, published authors, poets, performers, hosts. We're just a group of guys that came together, man, with one common cause: to push this poetry thing forward, but to push this black thing forward. To give young men hope to say, hey, I don't have to play basketball. I don't have to be a rapper. I can go out there and be a poet and be a published author and still have my words affect people the same way maybe their favorite rapper does, or the way that maybe Kobe Bryant affected people. These words and these things that we do, we truly believe that. Honestly, the poetry saved my life.
Tell me more about that.
Yeah, I'm a manic depressant. I got diagnosed as manic depressant when I was 19 years old. When I was 9 years old, they diagnosed me with ADHD. So when you have these different diagnoses and things like that, then you could make a lot of excuses. It does get frustrating because you don't quite understand what's going on.
Okay. What is, just so that I and the people watching, what is manic depression versus depression?
Well, it's like bipolar. It's just the technical term of calling it bipolar.
Okay.
And when you're bipolar, you ride emotional roller coasters more extreme than everybody else.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna say everybody else because some people don't even know they may have it.
Okay.
And they're having some of these same issues.
It's prevalent in our community, though.
Oh, sure. Definitely. And we hide it. We try to brush it under the rug. Our parents make excuses for us and things like that. But I actually started getting better when I found out.
Okay.
So that I did have a way to come back, and I didn't feel like I was an outcast or a loner, because you do start to feel that way, because you don't feel like anybody understands you, and that's why I call my book Mostly Misunderstood.
Okay.
Because your intentions can be very good, your intentions can be well, but when you could be on the highest of highs, and it's like a false high. It's just that that's what your mind's saying, and your mind is saying, oh my God, and then. Guess what? When it doesn't happen the way it happens, that extreme low could be very extreme as well. It could put you in a place that a lot of people don't even come back from. You know what I mean? So I've been in some of those places, and luckily that I found poetry as my gift to say, I can breathe. I can get this stuff out. Other than that, man, I was just a wound up bottle of frustration.
Who are some of your favorite poets?
Langston Hughes, Maya Angelou, those are like the two that I really follow the most.
Those are heavy hitters, man.
Oh yeah, and other than that, man, like I said, I'm a music guy.
Okay.
So I believe it's a lot of music in poetry. A lot of it gets lost. A lot of poetry in music.
Okay.
A lot of it may get lost with the beat or with the visual that they see.
Yeah.
But I'm like Rakim. I like storytellers, Tupac, things like that. You know,
That's
to
what
where
I'm talking about.
you know,
Rakim.
because that's where I come from.
Okay.
You know, it's sometimes it's hard for me to relate to some of these poets because I don't come from that era or that genre or that space in my life. The space that I'm in my life has not always been pretty. It's not always been roses. So I like to tell people that, hey, you can even come from the ashes and come back and achieve success. So if you don't paint that right picture, then it's a turnoff because when they meet you, they want to see the authenticity.
Yeah.
I can't give you anything that I don't know about, that I don't feel, because you're going to eventually weed that out and say, hey man, it's not authentic, it's not genuine.
Wow. So
my poetry is authentic, it's genuine, but the group that we travel with, it's all types of poets. And that's what makes it.
You mentioned a couple different guys.
Right. I mean, this guy right here is from Milwaukee, the Midwest. Price is Black.
Okay, I met this guy.
Price is Black, dreads, hungry. These are my little brothers, man. They kind of look at me as like the guy that kind of spearheads this thing,
Okay.
But these are young men that we have accumulated that believe in me, and I believe in them. Very talented. Tad Nips, he's a teacher. That's my other brother. He's from Southern Illinois. Kingsworth. We believe in, because we come from kings and queens. A lot of that stuff gets hidden in the books and the things that we hear. We think we just came from slavery and we come from sharecroppers and things like that. But what we actually came from was royalty. It was kings and queens, and we want to tell these young men that you're not a nigga.
Hustlers and
yeah, man, you a royal. You come from royalty.
Yes.
You know what I mean? They brainwashed us into believing that we were nothing. So we trying to get all that back. We trying to get everything that we've got taken from us back, whether it's through these words, whether it's through hitting the streets, and let them know, hey, we are black men, but we educated black men.
Man, that's fantastic. So do you all travel? Is that a Texas-based thing? Where can somebody catch you at?
Yeah, Texas-based as of right now. We actually have a 9-city tour that we have lined up from now to July.
Wow.
We're going to be in Mississippi. We're going to be in Arkansas. We're going to be in Illinois. We're going to be in Houston, Texas. We're going to be in OKC. Really, the best thing to do is follow the fan page. The Real Kings of Poetry. It's a fan page out there. I'm Justin. I Do Me. I also have a fan page. And then, of course, my guys. You can find me there, Tad Nips, Jamar Tad Nips, or Price is Black on Facebook. The Black the Barber on Instagram. Other than that, Justin, I Do Me on all surfaces.
We'll make sure we get that stuff tagged.
Definitely. Other than that, man, I'm excited because literally we've been working on this a year and a half. Me and Tad Nips, we kind of started this whole dream to say, hey man, this is something we could take on the road. People need to hear this. People need to see this. And when we were doing it, a lot of poets weren't thinking about doing nationwide tours.
Correct.
You know what I mean? And our goal with this whole thing, Sly, is to accumulate a network of poets, a network of kings, queens, to where we influence the whole nation. So for instance, if there's something going on in St. Louis, they know they have a group of poets, authors, entertainers that they can tap into simply by one handle, the Real Kings of Poetry.
Okay.
You can get 10 of the kings, you can get 3 of the kings.
Okay.
But it's just a platform to say, hey, we're better in numbers. A lot of times we don't like to partner up. We like to keep everything to ourselves. And we don't realize that, hey, that's the only way you can get ahead is if we do it together. Yeah. It's hard to do this thing by yourself, man. It's hard to do it by yourself.
Correct. Man, that's fantastic. You're saying all the right things, man. Everything that you're talking about, I wholeheartedly agree with. The brainwashing. I think about Edward Bernays and the brainwashing of the mind. Into believing that, all we can be is the biggest, baddest nigga on the block. The biggest, baddest hood, or the most thuggish, ruggish, to ever do it. And I think what's very interesting is even in those the most like gangster caricatures, I always ask, like, did you see the whole movie? Because like normally the guy that was in charge was still very intelligent. Like, they don't have just like big dummies running these major operations.
It was structured.
It was structured. There was a hierarchy, like no matter what. And a lot of times the plot in the movie enveloped because of somebody getting off script or somebody going outside of the structure. That always creates an issue. And then you've got your classic crime movie. Somebody broke the rules and so on and so forth. So it's like, I feel like success is the same way, right? Like we're so as a community sometimes structured and ready to, flip a pack. We're so ready to, we got
invest
soldiers.
into the fast hustle. Invest into the fast money.
So we understand investing. We understand, throwing down some money with the hope of getting something back. But when you say investment, then it's like, wait a minute. So I just love that you all are investing your energy
into each other.
Into
each other, man.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. So your 9-city tour, is that what you said?
Yes, sir.
How did you guys do that? I'm sure that there are people watching right now that are like, okay, that sounds fantastic, but I don't know this guy, right? How do I do that? How do I get value from this interview in my life? What would you suggest to the other ambitious, intelligent individuals out there that are watching right now that feel that, like, man, I feel like I have something to contribute, but I don't really know what to do with that energy?
Right. I mean, just a lot of sacrifice, not sitting still. And maximizing on opportunities. I've been blessed to travel to 38 states in America, so I do have a large network base that I do deal with. So just being active, being in the way. I tell my guys, hey, in order for us to be seen, we got to be in the way. So when we get there, it's the presentation, it's the approach, it's our energy that makes these. Well, I'm not gonna say make, but opens the door to say, hey, we might want to partner up with these positive black men.
Yes.
They look like they have something positive going on.
Yes.
And that's how you package it. We packaged it in a way to say this thing travels. This thing travels.
This moves.
Yeah, it moves. We have to package it, and we presented it to these places. It started off as 2 or 3 spots. But once we got those 2 or 3 spots, then it became 6 or 7 spots. It became like a word of mouth, and people started reaching out to us to say, hey, you're already going to be in Alta, Illinois.
Yeah.
We're an hour and a half north. Why don't y'all come up here the day before?
Really?
So it just kind of accumulated through 1 or 2 little opportunities, and then just being in the way.
Now, how did you all meet, the core group of you all? How did you all come to know each other?
Dallas has an excellent, it has so much talent in the spoken word industry. I've been in Dallas about 3 years.
Okay.
And I just started, like I said, just being in the way. I just go to these different open mic events, scope the scene, see these different poets. And, I believe in real, recognize real.
Okay.
So when I see these guys, you know what I mean, and I'm like, man, these guys got so much talent. But not everybody wants to partner up. Not everybody's humble enough to say, hey, I'll take my one name a step back to push for the whole thing.
It's like Voltron.
It is.
Or like the Megazord.
It is.
If you're so busy trying to be the Red Ranger,
that's correct,
then you can't hop into the Megazord. And sometimes you need a Megazord to get
to get the job done.
To get what you're trying to get.
Yeah, because sometimes these hurdles are way bigger than you, and it's easier to accomplish when you have 2 or 3 people moving in the same direction.
Yes.
So we've had some people come and go. We've had some people interested, but the core 3 guys that we have now is literally the 3.
You guys are not a cult. That's good.
No, it's inclusive. I mean, and the cool thing about it, we're all different.
Okay.
You'll see me. I look a certain way. You've seen Price is Black.
Yeah.
He looks a certain way. I mean, we're not trying to fit everybody into a white collar or this. No, this is poetry. This is a form of expression. So if I try to take that expression away from you, I'm taking actually a little piece of your art away from you as well.
Wow.
So anybody joining this group, they're joining with the intention of being yourself.
Wow.
We already have an I Do Me. We have a Price is Black. We have a Tad Nips. We have. What are you gonna bring to the table?
I like that. What's your culture add?
What's that?
What do you add to the culture of what we got going on?
That's what we need. I mean, because this is a show. It's a performance-based show. But everybody don't want to see the same thing over and over again. They want to see a variety. They want to see black men in different capacities. Like I said, we got Milwaukee, we got Illinois. I'm from Texas. We got another guy out there in Houston. So it's supposed to be an inclusive thing to say, I look like him. I think I can do what he does. They may not be able to do what I do, or they might not think they can do what I do by the way I look. But when they see a guy like Price is Black, they may be able to identify with him.
That's true.
And it's still our message is getting out. It doesn't have to necessarily come from me.
Okay. Now, how did you settle on poetry being your outlet, though? I mean, it's so powerful. How did that resonate with you, especially as a black man? It had to be tough.
It is, because they put
stigmas,
they put the poets in a certain way. Oh, you about to go do some love stuff and things like. I do spoken word. My words come from the high. Sometimes when I'm writing, I don't even know what it's going to be until it's finished. Because once that pen starts to move and those stars start flowing,
it's flowing.
It's no longer you.
I feel you.
It's no longer you. It's coming from somewhere. Because I look back sometimes and be like, man, what was I even thinking when I wrote that? So that's when I knew that the feeling that it gave me inside, first of all, it was a relief. Like I said, because I do ride those high waves of emotion up and down, that kind of helps me keep even.
Okay.
You know, it keeps my mind from going to the extreme. It says, hey, stay focused, because poetry is structured. Poetry is structured.
Yeah,
there's a certain way that you have to do it. It's a certain way it has to start and finish. If not, it doesn't make sense.
Okay.
So it kind of keeps me focused. Other than that, my life is not like that. Being a manic depressed, my life is not like that.
Okay.
It's scattered. You know what I mean? So that's why I have to put groups together. I have to do these type of things to keep my life structured, because it helps me on my day-to-day outside of what people see in the public eye.
Okay.
So poetry is my thing, man. Like I said, I worked with rap artists and things. I did a little rapping. I used to rap when I was in college and things like that.
Okay.
But it was transition, because it was like, I'm not getting where I want to be with this. And instead of me quitting, instead of me keep trying to put this round peg into a square hole, I said, well, what is it, Lord? What is it you want me to do? Mm-hmm. And I mean, he almost took my life. You know, he because I'm always moving and shaking. Mm-hmm. So sometimes I feel like I miss his word, or sometimes my phone too busy that I can't hear him trying to tap in and say, Justin, I want you to be doing this.
Okay.
So he's put me in situations in my life that made me sit down, that made me self-evaluate, that made me say I have nothing else to do but think about these thoughts, and I was able to start hearing.
Okay.
You know, so this book actually came from the lowest place I've been in my life, probably since my great-grandfather passed away 20-something years ago. But from that low place, I feel like I was able to create a masterpiece, or something that can leave a legacy for my kids to say, hey, my daddy did something.
And that's this one?
And that's mostly misunderstood. The Poetic Memoirs of a Manic Depressor. So it's on Amazon, it's on Kindle. I'll come up to your house. If you know what I mean, because I feel like this, you know, I've given this book away for free. I sell it, you know, because
how much is it?
$15 on Amazon, Kindle. You know, and I think
it's an ebook form.
It's an ebook form on Kindle. You can
Audiobook?
Audio, and I'm working on the audio book. We're actually gonna do a video book.
Okay.
Because I want to do a visual of what I'm feeling and what I'm saying. You know, somebody's already doing audio. I want them to be able to feel this passion, to see that, hey man, this guy's got something. You know, and like you said earlier, you don't do nothing halfway. Yeah. So if I'm going to do it, I might as well just go ahead and give them the visual and everything, and give them the full package.
That's fantastic. A video book.
Video book. Video book.
I'm not even familiar with that concept.
Video
book.
book.
Would love to see a video book.
Yes, sir. A video book.
What's up, Hofty? Any parting things? If anybody was just tapping in, right, and they were like, hey, I don't know what they've already covered, but I see this guy is fresh, got the Dallas hat on, you know what I'm saying? What message would you give to somebody in a quick, succinct fashion? If somebody was like, what do you have to say to the world?
Man, don't ever give up. I mean, it's just like rolling the dice with your last dollar. You know what I mean? You gotta feel like every time you shoot those dice, you got a chance to win. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I've lost friends, I've lost families, I lost things along the way that a lot of people not willing to sacrifice. You know what I mean? So I'm willing to make that sacrifice to say the greatness that I'm searching for is way bigger than these small, minute things that people they fall off because, hey, you don't spend enough time with them, or you don't have enough energy. And that's the thing, man. You can't let people draw your energy away from what you're actually supposed to be doing.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. But that's real good. How do you go about? You know, when you meet with people that you resonate with, that's great. It's very easy to link up.
Right.
But when you start to recognize that you don't resonate with some people, how do you go about cutting those ties? Or
you mean it's like just not spending time and energy on them?
Yeah. How do you go about that actual transition? You just stop calling people the day you figure out they're no good for you?
Yeah, you have to. You have to. It's like a cancer, man. If you let that thing steadily grow inside of you and you try to overlook it, it could be that one day that ends everything. Everything you work for, the hard work you put in, because you didn't go to the doctor to get that diagnosed, it became full-blown problem, and now it's too late. So if you don't address and it's a learning process. I'm not gonna say I always knew this, but it's trial and error. But the biggest thing is you got to look in the mirror. You have so many people make excuses. It's that person's fault. If I wasn't with such and such, no, you got to be your biggest critic every day. And if you do that, and you say, okay, how's my shirt look? How's my talent? Am I driving? If you just continue to just self-check yourself and don't overlook the issues that you have, stop, address the issue, and then move on. If not, you're gonna compound issues, and then it becomes too big of a burden. I mean, when I was growing up, I never heard of black men killing themselves. Things, mental health awareness, suicide, those things never came up in our community. Now, you hear more and more and more.
Yeah.
Why? Because we running, and then when we try to stop and put our feet in the ground, we got so much stuff
Catching up
that we feel like we don't, I mean, it's like, I just give up.
Yeah.
Address those things as you come. Get them out the way. That way you can fully accomplish the next thing that's set out for you. And that, I mean, like I said, I had to get out my own way, Sly. I mean, that literally, my life changed.
And get in the way so you can be seen.
Get in the way, bro. Don't be in your way. Get in the way. You know what I mean? It's just like when the first time I did poetry, I didn't know I was good. I just did an open mic, got a hellified reception, and that pushed me.
Motivated.
But if I never took the first step, then I never would have did this. I wouldn't be sitting here with you. I wouldn't be on the city because I let myself get in the way.
Okay.
Don't let yourself get in the way, man. Chase dreams. Grind don't stop. That's what the tour is called. The grind don't stop. Because it don't. You sleep when you die.
Sleep when you die.
You sleep when you die. You just rest. You just resting. When you go to sleep at night, you're just resting. You're not actually sleep. Your mind should always be. I dream big.
Okay.
So when I'm sleeping, I have active dreams. And when I wake up, I just want to go out there and just try to figure out how I can get to this dream because it felt so good.
It felt so real.
It does, man. It does.
Thank you so much for coming.
It was a pleasure, man. It was a pleasure.
This was awesome.
It's a pleasure,
We're gonna get this footage up as soon as we can. Make sure it's chopped up right. Double check the sound. But again, I appreciate it, man. Where can they find you? You mentioned a lot of people,
right?
But it sounds like we can tap in with you, and then it'll branch off into an amazing network of human beings.
So on Instagram, IG, Justin_I_do_me. That's my page right there. You'll see me on there. I wild out on Instagram. So if y'all want to see the unedited version, follow me on Instagram. If we got some more mature listeners, you know, I usually put my more mature substance on Facebook, so you can find me at Justin. I mean, you can actually find me at J Brown Senior on Facebook or my fan page at Justin I Do Me. I would love to see you guys out in the city near you. If you know a venue, you know a place, hit up my man Sly. Hit me in my inbox. The Kings will show up and show out. That's what we do. We're also working on some networking for these young men. So if you know any young black authors, young black poets that just want to get their information out there, that just don't know how, shoot a message in my inbox, give me the information, and we'll make sure that, man, we sharing this. This is not something we're trying to keep to ourselves. If we can teach one, we'll reach one. That's what we do, man.
Now, are we gonna like turn away young Asian men?
Oh no, it's inclusive. It's
Young
inclusive.
Latino men?
It's inclusive. The thing that the reason I always try to focus on our African American men, because all these other nationalities, they have these things in place.
This is facts.
In the Asian community, believe me, their education is top notch, and
Absolutely.
they're passing it down, and they're putting their kids in it. The white community, even Spanish America, they, you know what I mean. So I'm not saying we're just doing this.
No, but that's who
but
your heart is.
We have to focus on that because those are our people.
Absolutely.
Those are our people, and we're doing ourselves a disservice if we gather all this information and knowledge and we don't try to pass it on to our people,
our
man.
own seed. That would be silly.
I mean, I would do it for free before I sold my soul to a cause like that, man.
Got it, man. That's deep. Y'all check this brother out, Justin I Do Me, on all the platforms. I just told you where to be at. If you're wondering where we are at right now, we are at the Grow DeSoto Marketplace in DeSoto, Texas.
Future home for the kings of poetry, man. We coming to do business here.
There's things happening here. Shout out to everybody that rocks with us. Black Hero Apparel, Rocket Apparel, Genius Apparel, Team Outlandish, A Fresh, King, Grown Folk Music. Shout out everybody that's doing their thing right now. Diamond Limited. Shout out everybody that's getting to it.
If y'all tell them y'all saw I Do Me on the Black Hero Apparel, they're gonna give you a 10% off. Make sure y'all mention I Do Me or Kings, anything like that. My man Sly, Black Hero Apparel, they're gonna give you a discount.
I will.
And it helps out the cause, guys.
All right, y'all, we're gonna let y'all go. I'm getting ready to go grab some delicious food from Thai Bin, where you can get a Fire Slide combo. That's right, it's Fire Slide, named after your boy. So if you like Thai food, come get some. You know what I'm saying right now? Yes. So I'm gonna holler at y'all later.
Hey, we're out of here, y'all. One.
Good stuff. Make sure this was still